everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I wanted to do another story time really quick while I'm just out wandering around and exploring, and I realized that I never told anybody how Mushu and I met. So, Mushu and I have been friends for a very long time. I love her dearly, and I figured it'd be kind of cool to share the story of how we met. So, Mushu and I went to the same high school. We both live in Arizona, and I was, I believe, a junior at the time, and Mushu was a freshman. And we were both doing cross country at the time for our high school. And at the time, I was on the varsity team. I'd been on the varsity team since freshman year. I was pretty elite. I ended up getting second at nationals in the 2,000-meter steeplechase for my club team when I was a sophomore. And Mushu and I are very different individuals. I am an extreme extrovert. I yap a lot. And Mushu is not like that. But it ends up working out. So Mushu and I show up to the first day of practice for the season. And at the time, I'm just kind of doing my own thing, not really paying attention, trying to be kind to the freshmen because I know how scary it is being new and everything, especially in an environment you're not familiar with. And she didn't really say much, which I understand. You're in a completely new environment, and there's this random junior girl trying to talk to you, and she's very clearly an extroverted individual, which is not what your personality is. But anywho, over the next couple of weeks of practice, I noticed that Mushu is probably one of the most dedicated people I've ever seen in the sport, aside from, myself. She wasn't the fastest by any means, and that's perfectly fine. But she tried so hard at absolutely everything that she did. I don't think I ever saw her walk during any of our runs. She never complained. She just hunkered down and did it, and I was so impressed by this that I was like, I need to talk to her, and I need to let her know how impressive that is. So I think I talked to her, and I was just like, hey, you're maybe not the fastest individual, but you work way harder than anybody else on this team. And I just want you to know that I appreciate it. And I see you, and I think it's really cool that you're doing that. And, the more that you work hard at something, the better you'll get. And that was kind of it. I don't think we really talked a whole lot after that. But then after that interaction, we just kind of, kept speaking with one another, kept hanging out. And I realized just not only how kind and caring she is, she has a very unique sense of humor. So obviously I talk a lot, and Mushu does not. But she uses that to her advantage. She will let me talk and talk and talk until I say something that's either really funny or really stupid. And she will have the wittiest one-liners on the face of the earth. I'm sure you guys have seen that in some of our other videos where she will just let me talk and then say something, and it's the funniest thing on the face of the earth. And ever since, we've been friends, and I can't really explain or describe what it is in particular that really made us get so close. I enjoy her company, and I think she's fantastic. And I remember when I graduated, I was so sad because obviously I was graduating high school, I was going to be going to college, and she was still going to be in high school. And I was worried that we wouldn't really stay in touch because it happens sometimes. You have really, really good friends, but they're only there for a season of your life. And thankfully, that wasn't the case with us because Mushu and I still talk, obviously. We visit each other in person pretty regularly, and it's just all around great. And I think I have a photo of us at this little graduation thing, and we are both so tiny and baby-faced. It's adorable. But we were both so heartbroken because, we'd grown really close over the past year or 2 years, I guess it would be. And all of a sudden, we weren't going to be seeing each other every morning for practice or anything like that. So it's just really weird to come to terms with. But Mushu and I stayed in contact while I was in college, which was fantastic. And we've been best friends ever since. And again, I couldn't tell you specifically what it is that drew us together. I definitely think her hard work and determination really, like, I really admired it. I still do. She's a very hard worker, but more than anything, she's just really, really sweet and really, really kind. And I'm very picky about the people who I consider my friends and the people I associate with. And she's never once disappointed me. She has always been so caring and genuinely invested in the things that I do and the goals that I have. And I love spending time with her. A couple months ago, we got together and we built Legos, which was funny because she got me this really cute little Stitch Lego set, and I got her these flowers, which I didn't think were going to be that difficult, and they ended up being way harder than they should have been. But she's just a good sport about everything. She knows my interests. She knows the things that I care about and what my morals are. And she's just genuinely so supportive. And I just love her with my whole heart. So here's to many more years of friendship. Mushu is fantastic. I adore her. Um, and I can't wait, to spend more time with her and see what other weird stuff we can get up to because she really matches my sense of humor in a way that nobody else does. And I thoroughly enjoy it. It makes my day. I love it. I love her and I adore her. But yeah, that's kind of the story of how we met. We just met by chance at high school cross country practice. And we didn't really pay much attention to each other at first. And then it was just like all of a sudden, I just realized how hard of a worker she was and how great of an attitude she had at everything. And then I realized we had more in common than originally thought. And it just went from there. So I guess the moral of the story is you never really know, like, who your best friend is going to be or how the universe is going to pair you up with somebody who just really matches your energy. And when that happens, it's probably one of the best feelings ever. And so I cannot wait to see what else we get up to and what other weird stuff comes our way. But yeah, that's the story of how Mushu and I met. And ironically, I think other than Mushu, there's only about two other people that I stay in regular contact with. Roy, who is a viewer on Twitch. I met her in high school as well, them in high school as well. And then I have a different story that I probably won't be sharing about someone who I keep in contact with from high school who was my very first like legitimate crush, but she never knew. So we're just going to keep that part to ourselves. We might share that in a future story time. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And please leave a comment down in the comment section about your favorite moment with Mushu. I would love to hear it. Obviously, there's the stereotypical, ooh, these guys. I haven't seen these guys yet. There is the stereotypical touching lava, sticking your hand in a blender, creeper pet type of stuff. But I'm just genuinely curious, and I know it'll make her day. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. You guys have a good one.